In this video, you'll be learning about this topic. So guys, I want to start off with Plan B. You recently put out a picture just showing where we're at in this cycle versus the previous 4-year cycles that have happened before. Talk us through this a little bit and then tell us whether you think that this is a good way to measure it, to look at things. Just give us some of your ideas.
So that's a chart that shows the current price track from the halving, the time of the halving. That was May 2020. And then you compare it to the other two halvings in 2016 and 2012. And what you see is that the current price track is right in between 2012 and 2016 price track. So it already tells a lot, right? Because there's a lot of people thinking that cycles are going to be longer and lower. But, well, this data point shows it's right in the middle of the last two halvings and not lower. So that's one point. The other point is the chart also shows that after the initial bull market, it will sort of stabilize at an equilibrium after that bull market. So it goes down and then it stabilizes. And for 2013, that was around, well, if you compare it to current price levels, around the $300,000 level. And if you look at the more current 2017 bull run, that sort of stopped at the 100,000 level. And I find those very interesting, of course, because those are exactly the price levels of my stock to flow model, 100,000, and stock to flow cross asset model, the $288,000 level. So yeah, I like that chart. It's very intuitive. It's very simple. There's no models. Yeah, maybe the model targets that I plot in there. But I think for people new to Bitcoin, it's good to see that there is a very distinct pattern after the halvings. That's a very interesting phenomenon in Bitcoin. So yeah, I would recommend learning everything about halvings, what that is, what that means, and also price-wise.
Willy, what do you think about using the previous halving cycle, maybe the number of days, the percent that it's moved as kind of a metric to understand what might be happening this time around? What are your thoughts?
It's absolutely obvious it makes a large difference. You know, I picture it as, it's kind of like it's a shove, right? It's a shove by, like, if you're sitting in the bathtub and you kind of push the water at the right time, and Bitcoin has this little push, the supply shock push on the market, the sell pressure halves because the new supply is at the rate it's coming onto the market is halving each time. So yeah, you get the shove and then it sets up this resonance in our Bitcoin cycles, and actually all the entire crypto space circulates around these 4-year cycles of Bitcoin's halving. And so no matter what asset in crypto you're analyzing, you're locked into these 4-year cycles because Bitcoin's really the huge kind of 800-pound gorilla in the room, which all assets orbit around. And, you know, that shove tends to last, if you look back at the charts, it tends to last well over a year. And, you know, my thinking is that you get this year of momentum and then that develops this kind of, I guess, you know, the upward price movement from the lower sell pressure and accelerates the price upwards, and then people get that kind of FOMO effect and people start buying and you get this run up in price and the momentum sort of loses its steam. And around the December after the halvening, like the year after the halvening, we tend to have seen all the market tops. And I think that's because people sell to pay their taxes because they've just had this year of ridiculous gains. And so generally, I'm agreeing with Plan B here in that, like, I'm not subscribed to this lengthening cycle thesis, more that this 4-year cycle is the lock-in. The tax season of the December after the halvening, the year after the halvening, is the sell pressure that locks us back into this bearish market.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the next podcast episode and new investing resources.
What are your takeaways and thoughts on this discussion? Let us know in the comments section below.